But what happens when the road gets rough? Join Counselor Debby as she takes you through a time out with couples, families, friends concerning the heart of the matter.
I believe that every story matters and every heart deserves to be heard. Let's take a time out and discover the heart of the matter with Counselor Debby.
Starting on ZAT every Saturday, 8 a.m. For adverts and sponsorship, please contact 026 381 6967. Thank you. Hello everyone. Relationships can be a joke. Please call.
Hello, beautiful morning to every viewers out there. This is your favorite host, Counselor Debby, on ZAT TV again this beautiful weekend. You're all welcome on board. We thank God for the successful election, and we thank God for the new Ghana that will be emerging. And it's actually the season of celebration, because just Christmas is just few days by the corner. And we are trusting everyone is going to have a very beautiful celebration. And today in the studio, we are going to be discussing something that is very, very important. I have a special guest who is here live with me today. So it's that time you have to pick up your phone right now. As I usually say, call a friend, call your colleague, call your neighbor, call anyone that you think might need this information, because we keep learning. We unlearn and we will learn, and we are to know what is happening around us, how we can be empowered. So that's why knowledge is very powerful. And with me in the studio today is no one but Adikende Usanat, and this is they call her Kenny Mama, because she's full of energy. When you see her, you see energy. She's with Gender and Social Inclusion Officer, and she works with GEM, that's Girls Empowerment Mission Ghana. Welcome with me, viewers out there, to welcome Kenny to the studio with us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
So beautiful to have you here. I would like you to just look into the camera. Your viewers out there. I want to just welcome them, introduce yourself, let them know all they need to know about you before we go into our session.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. As she rightly said, my names are Adikende Husenat, but I am popularly known as Kenny Mama. I'm the Gender and Social Inclusion Officer for Girls Empowerment Mission Ghana here in Tamale here. It's a local NGO that focuses on creating economic opportunities for women, girls, and persons living with disability. And for me, I do a lot. I'm who they normally call everybody's public relations officer. I love to support anything that has to do with women, women-led businesses, women entrepreneurship, women empowerment. I'm an overall supporter, but my main focus is mostly on women because of the barriers that we usually have. I'm also a proud mom of 2 amazing kids. I'm somebody who loves helping people. I love to be around people. I love to socialize. I love to have fun. So anywhere you would see me, they usually call me MTN. Kenny is
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere. Yes.
Wow, good to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you.
I'm sure everyone's going to be excited. They are going to be learning something new, because especially what we are looking at this morning, I think is a particular sector of people that people don't really pay attention to them, and they are kind of secluded in their own world. Yeah. So we want to create awareness. We want to let people know what they can do to actually support and be part of their life, because we all need one another. It's a social network we all have to do. So I'd like to ask you, I'll be bombarding you with some questions. I will take it one after the other anyways.
Sure.
So my first question goes this way. What are some of the biggest barriers to economic empowerment faced by the women and girls with disabilities in Ghana?
Wow, that's a very tough question, because I still remember yesterday we're having a discussion on what does it mean to have an economic barrier. Because in the northern part of the region here where we are based, the idea is your economy as a woman has to do with your father, your family, or your husband. Do you understand?
Okay.
Your father, your family, or your husband. You yourself as a woman, quote unquote, in this section, have no business making your own money. So they don't think being economically empowered as a woman is important. important in any way whatsoever. That is why it's a very big issue. So one of the most biggest barriers we encounter is access to education, access to knowledge, limited access to even credit facilities if you want to start a business. How to get a loan is a problem. Then we are talking of illiteracy, of course. Their inability to not be able to communicate in the general language, which is English. It means if you are speaking only the local language, it's even more difficult to express yourself. And then we also have cultural and traditional, including religious norms, which we keep fighting or we keep trying to change in our little way in a daily basis. And then there's also the perception that women and men are not equal in any way. That's why we are fighting for gender equity, in the sense that our roles and responsibilities are fine-tuned according to our gender. But not that we are trying to fight with each other, but we are trying to at least get to a point where if you are making 1,000 cedis as a man, I should be making the same. For the same work, not because of my gender. Yes. Okay. So that's some of the economic barriers that they face.
I also think stigma and discrimination is also something that we can't overlook.
I mean, it's been 200, it's been how many years down the line? Remember the last time we were having a gender sensitive workshop? It's been 200 years down the line. And in some quote unquote aspects, the men still they still expect the woman to serve, like literal service with nothing in return. There's so many we've not mentioned. Unpaid care work, domestic responsibilities that take up 90% of the time. A young girl who is supposed to go to school as early as 7 a.m. She needs to wake up. She needs to wake up at 3 a.m. She'll fetch water. She'll sweep the house. She'll sweep the compound. She'll prepare breakfast, if that is even there. They will send her on errands before she would even have the opportunity to go to school.
And if this young girl gets to school, she keeps sleeping in class.
She will sleep in
She won't even listen to what the teacher is saying.
And
because she's fagged out already.
She's tired. Gender norms, cultural issues, traditional issues. And we're not saying just pick up the culture and change it immediately. No, that's not what we are saying. We are saying that some certain things that when you create the learning space, you create the opportunity for the child, the girl child specifically, she would grow and blossom. That is where we can now be added into the the decision-making process. Our voices will be heard. They will listen to you and be like, yes, this person is making sense. So you can imagine, I work with a few persons with disability. I'm a mentor to a few of them. And for the males, it's a bit easier because they are a bit outspoken. But for the females, it is extremely difficult, especially when you have a disability. So trying to express yourself, okay, so you can imagine somebody who is hearing impaired. It means before she can hear what you are saying, you need to write it. Someone who is can't speak, the person is dumb.
What's the name of that lady at the Sweden Ghana? That beautiful young lady. I need
Radia.
Radia is such a beautiful girl.
Oh my God.
In fact, I think we need to bring her to the studio one of these days. But even though she had impaired in talking, she still had this confidence.
So her condition is actually cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Yes. So where the entire the spinal cord, it's like it's not working perfectly well. I don't really know much about the disease, but it's the type that it will affect your speaking, your movements, your diction, everything. But Radia said, lie.
No way.
She said, no way. She will push and push.
She's so confident when she's talking.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Even though it feels like she's struggling.
She's struggling, yeah, sure. As for that, effort to be heard.
To be heard, that is what we are trying to create. Actually, yes.
I really like that. But another thing that I would like our viewers out there, because I believe for us to make this change, it begins with every one of us individually.
Of course.
That means starting from our home. I could remember very many years ago, like 10 years ago, when I've noticed that, especially the boy child, they eat, after eating, they drop their bowls. They don't want to wash plates. They say, no, boys don't work. I was like, really? So that means if they are not doing that, that means they shouldn't eat also. And that has given them that mentality that they are not meant to do something.
They are meant to be served.
They are meant to be served. So I think for parents out there, if you actually want your boy child to actually grow to be a responsible man, because one day someday they are going to get married.
Definitely.
Like I tell them, if you get married, you are in with your wife alone, and your wife is about to get to the hospital to deliver. who cooks for her?
Uh-huh.
Even while she's pregnant, she needs help. She needs people around. If you don't grow with it, how do you be able to, contribute that quota of being inclusive with your partner?
I would like to add something small to what you were saying. Yesterday at a event where I was selling clothes, I was talking to these young boys. I'm talking of a demographic of from 18 to 22. We're discussing about gender roles and responsibilities. And I mentioned the thing about pregnancy. And the only thing he said, but there's money. There's money. I'm like, it's not money that takes care of the backache. Do you carry the pregnancy? No. Do you feel the pain I feel? No. The complications I will go through to bring out that child, you have no clue. And the only thing you will tell me is there is money. I'm like, so what kind of mindset are the young ones having when it comes to responsibility and taking care of an house? For them, it's all money. I'm like, no, I'll give you time. It's your age group. You've not experienced
you will go
life
into
yet.
it and mature
Exactly.
to know when the dawns on you.
When it dawns on you, you will be the first person to push your wife out and say, go and look for work. Oh, I am the one taking care of the money. And they keep using, in the north here, in the north. I'm like, look, your north is developing. Tamale, as a city, is one of the fastest growing cities in West Africa.
No, it's not. It's part of it. Is.
If
you go to the internet and Google where is the fastest growing, it's Tamale.
So how can you tell me that the whole world is heading to the third? We're heading to the 22nd century, and you are still in 1998, or where are you? You are in 1980.
Wow.
No, we need to meet up with the times.
Yeah, I think another thing is they have lack of support services.
Of course.
Especially women and girls with disabilities may require support services such as personal care assistance.
Of course.
And if people don't come around, I'm sure they might be dying inside.
Yes.
Transportation, assistive technology to participate in economic activities and all that.
There's even one issue we didn't even we didn't mention. I remember the last time we had a female leadership forum at Modern City. Radia mentioned the alarming increase of sexual gender harassment and violence in persons with disability.
Really? Taking
Because
advantage of them?
Oh my God.
Oh.
She said at some point they have to work in groups. They can't go out alone.
Wow.
They can't do a lot of things
Taking
by themselves.
advantage of them in that state.
But if it was you and somebody has given you an opportunity and the person is saying, oh, let me just have you small. Don't tell anybody. I mean, look at your condition. How are you going to survive if I don't help you? The blackmailing, the guilty tripping, the mind washing, because you'll be so used to that kind of behavior. You'd want to do anything to survive. That is even somebody with a disability. How much more a normal female who on a daily basis we constantly have to go through sexual harassment, lucid comments, innuendos. You're not comfortable in your workplace. Somebody is talking to you in a certain manner and you don't even know. It's a form of abuse.
Wow.
It is now with the constant education, the training, the online presence we've been having, educating people on the fact that there are some things that you should not allow. Harassment is harassment.
Harassment is harassment.
Yes.
And in this part of the world, where people do things and in the GV, if they can pay their way through, they release them and they make them go free and they empower them to go and do more. So today we are looking at breaking down barriers, promoting economic empowerment for women and girls with disabilities in Ghana. We have people we are working with closely. We know what they are going through and we feel their pain. And we think that aspect had to come to the open so that people can hear about what is going on and what they are going through. So Kenny, I'd like to also ask you, how can organizations and policymakers work to address these barriers and promote greater inclusion?
So one of the things, I would have to commend a lot of the organizations, especially the civil society organizations. First one I'll mention, of course, is Swida Ghana.
Swida Ghana.
They've been doing, look, Haji Alima Sagito is a godsend. This woman has made it up in her mind that no matter what, women will be fine. She has taken it as a personal business. Swida Ghana Plan International. We have CRS Ghana as well. Then we have the local smaller NGOs.
CRS, can you tell us the full meaning so that our viewers out there will...
Yes, CRS is Catholic Relief Services.
Okay.
They are more of they are supposed to be religious, but they don't seem to be. They are everywhere. They
Everywhere.
cater for both Muslim, Christians,
Christians,
traditionalists. They do any type of relief
Oh,
services.
that's good.
Yes, so they've been doing extremely, even the local NGOs in Tamale, like, of course, Girls Empowerment Mission. Then we have the Hereafter Ghana. We have Tamale Offline Hangouts. We have a little of them, the Empowerment Center for Peace Building. Everybody has made it their business that no, if we are going to do something, we need to include women. Women need to be parts. If they are not parts, then we are not doing.
I am not doing.
Yes. So some of the things they've been able to do is to make sure that first things first, we find out where they are. Look for your target audience. Find out their associations. We look for their heads, their presidents. I remember, I think the last meeting we had that of Sweden Ghana. They had a training. They wanted to find out how the PWDs were able to. That's the persons with disabilities. How they were able to include themselves in the election process. So I got to meet the president for the National Association of the Blind. Then we also had the representatives from the hearing impaired, and they also have their full association. So once we know them, we make sure that we have personal trainings with them. We have tailored workshops where we have the way where we can communicate with them. If we don't understand, we get a translator so that they can be able to understand what we are saying. So this constant training, they do a lot of drop down as well. When there's logistics, we go to them directly. We go to the communities, we do the research, we gather the data, and then we put it into the PDFs, which we send outside as well for people to also read and learn what we are also doing as well. But I think one of the ways even governments can be very inclusive is the fact that there's actually a common fund for persons with disabilities, but it seems like it's only a few people who get access to it. The last time we had a meeting, they were complaining bitterly that the amount of corruption alone in the PW system, I'm like, people that they are barely, it's not already easy already, and you are adding corruption to it. It makes no sense. No. They are I mean, if you
Where
steal
are people's hearts?
Like, how do you steal from somebody? It makes no sense.
That's Africa.
Yes, we need the system to be more tailored. There are some things that the structure should be there. If somebody is going through something, whether a woman, whether a person with disability, even males, actually now it's even more difficult for males to report issues of violence or sexual gender-based violence. They go to DOSO or they go to welfare. I'm sorry, but there are some cases that I've handled and they make jest of them. They're like, how are you a man? The woman is beating you. But you don't, the person could be mentally abusing the person, verbally abusing, before physical abuse will even come
in. And
so
those are also stages of abuse, whether verbal can even be more traumatic and hurting.
It will affect the mental state of the man's mind, that you notice he starts withdrawing. And a lot of them, before you know it, they start, indulging in some activities that you can clearly see that, no, this person is not fine. And that's when mental health comes in.
Yes.
Mental health, extremely important. We've tagged it as a spiritual problem, and it doesn't exist for black people. Please, it does.
It does.
Mental health is a very, very important. It's a very, very important subject. We seem not to talk about, and that's why I'm so happy I'm here on this platform with you, because I know as a counselor, it's not easy. A lot of people will walk up, they will talk, they will try, they will reach out for the first time. How to convince them that you need to be having the session, you need to be able to open up more. Sometimes I just tell them that, look, just try your best. A problem half shared is a problem half solved.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we are doing this. Timeout with Counselor Debby is open up to be able to reach out to viewers out there that might be hurting, dying inside, and we've given a platform, we've given our contacts for those who may need counseling. We do online counseling to even every part and everywhere in the world, no matter where you are. We do cyber counseling, who could also help you reach out. Keeping to yourself, social withdrawal leads to suicidal thoughts sometimes, and before you know it, you could hurt yourself. Look for someone to talk to, and not just anyone. We are here as professionals to actually help you. So to wrap up with that, I think I'm going to also ask and let our viewers, probably we have entrepreneurs, CEOs, business people, and big organizations listening to us this morning. I want to encourage you to include hiring practices, especially to the people of disability, because I think they need to be given opportunity in the workforce. Yes, make things comfortable for them. Just someone that can work. Usually when you go to the bank, the bankers are sitting down. Probably. So you could give people with disability that can't even work very well, since their work is sitting, attending to customers. But let's also know that it's very, very important. We carry them along, and it's so beautiful to know that a lot of people are doing that. You know, sometimes ago, myself and some group of people started working with the deaf and dumb, and but we organized a program for them, and they were so happy that, oh, for a very long time, in many years, they've never felt this way. And within that period of our meeting with them, in fact, one of their leaders got a job, a very good, renowned job in Navuku. He went to head a very big organization. We did that, just that, the sign language and all that too. It's something that people like us have to learn so that you could also communicate. But if you are willing to give out and reach out, then I think we should be able to also, as individuals, go out of our comfort zone to be able to help those people. Thank you so much, Kenny, for that. So, Kenny, what role can education and skills training play in promoting economic empowerment for women and girls with disabilities?
Oh my God, it plays a very, very important, crucial role. Because if you have the education and you have the skills, you would know how to prioritize your time, your efforts, your energy. How is it that somebody will go to the university for 4 years, do national service, and the next thing she's thinking about is marriage? Because they've taught you as a very young girl that the only thing that can crown your success is if you can get married. Getting married is wonderful. It should be a partnership between two people. It should be a decision that you have made because you have decided that it is time for me to be with somebody and grow a family. Not because you are looking for economic opportunity. Marriages of nowadays, that's what it is right now. An economic opportunity. An opportunity to survive after school. So that, Abi, he will pay for everything. So why don't I just get married?
They want to go and be a liability. And these days, people are asking, what are you also bringing to the table?
Very good.
So the times have changed right now.
You cannot longer be the table again.
No.
No. So that is where the skills acquisition actually comes in. So one of the very amazing initiatives that Girls Empowerment Mission has started, that was like in February 2020. We started with liaisoning some of the young ladies with apprenticeships, kind of like the TVET service. Although the TVET certificate is there, where you can go to the TVET school and get the certificates. Shout out to Hajia for also a very good job that she's doing there as well. She's the leader of the informal sector. She's very outspoken. No. Oh God, I forgot her name.
Okay,
she's going to beat me. She's somebody that is very passionate about women and girls as well, but she is more focused on the informal sector.
Okay.
Yeah, so she does anything relating to tailoring, hairdressing, seamstressing, fashion design, carpentry, mason. Then we also have We Not, of course, Alinea Foundation. They've been doing amazing well with putting women in male-dominated jobs. Now we have women who are masons, plumbers, carpenters, electricians, wiring, piling. I mean, they've opened the markets.
And these days, so you see the women also driving the Motor King.
Oh, yes.
You see the women driving the tricycle, the yellow.
The trucks. Now there is no more barrier. No, we have broken the barriers. Yes. So this is to show that when a person learns it, and the person learns it well. What are we? We are not going to be bothered because they would contribute their quota, and that is where when you speak, they will listen to you because you are contributing. So my problem with the discussion mostly is that there is that element of control in most relationships that we see. So if there is some I want to be the one who has the upper hand. Immediately you are making more money. You automatically have the upper hand because you are the one providing for everything. The person who is supposed to be your partner in the relationship is sidelined because she doesn't make enough or she doesn't even make at all. So I'm like, no, let her at least make something. When she's paying for the light bill, you are paying for the water bill. When she's paying for the school fees, she's paying for the mortgage. When you are paying for healthcare, she's paying a down payment for you people to save. Please, will you wake up one day and decide to fight? If you want to even fight, you talk about it.
We talk about it because it's a shared responsibility.
It's a shared responsibility. Everybody should be given the equal opportunity to contribute the best way he or she can. Unless maybe the person is not able to. Or the person is a dependent. That is, I'm talking about children from 18 to 25. Dependents. People, they are still paying school fees and they are still taking care of them. You have to consider the person's stage, especially for the young girls. When you know that you are coming to marry somebody between that age group, you have to make sure she has something she's doing. Because she's a liability at that age. Who is taking, where is she getting the money from? It's from her parents. So unless she's economically empowered, she cannot contribute to the household. Yes.
Wow.
So these are some. So when you have the skills, you have the education, you have the willingness to learn, and you are constantly surrounded by women doing amazing things, you will be forced to make your life better.
Yeah, because there's this something about what you behold determines what you become.
Exactly.
If you are with people that they are go-getters, always trying to
always
achieve,
ambitious,
always, it naturally flows, and you get on board with that also. So I think also building their confidence and self-esteem is something we can't not talk about.
They know me.
Because
Mama with the energy.
Because it's very, very important.
There's that thing we keep on insisting for them, that you need to love yourself before you can love anybody. And that's why we insist on giving them opportunities. When public speaking comes on, we make sure that, if you have any young girl who wants to develop her public speaking, give her an opportunity to MC. You will be with the older ones who sit and will watch. When you are done, we give you constructive criticism. Okay, so this is what you said. Oh, this is what you didn't say. So you go back, go and read. And with the small organization we created to the Tamale Offline Hangouts, where it's just a group of young people, where we let every single person make a presentation. At least we meet every 2 weeks. So at least by the time the year runs out, we've covered almost everybody in the group. So at least everybody who gets the opportunity to present, whether male, female, or even person with disability, you can go back and be like, okay, this is what I need to work on, this is what I need to work on, and then you increase your confidence. And that's what a lot of them are scared. They are so terrified. There's that issue of, I don't know what people will say. How we did? I'm like, what is about what people will say? These same people.
I think I remember, I think it was during one of the programs I attended in Sweden, Ghana, one of the guys that came around was saying, probably you are even talking and you have made a mistake. And sometimes it bites you.
Yes.
You feel this, I said this. I said, and to make you know, and interesting to know that people probably did not even notice that mistake that you made. And even if they notice, they have a lot of million things on their brain. Do you think it's that mistake or that error that you have made that they are thinking? But as human, we keep fighting ourselves. I was supposed to have said E, but I said D. And if care is not taken, that can limit you to try again.
I think one of the issues I've identified is the social media.
Okay.
I was going through the internet, I think it was yesterday, and I realized that the younger ones place a lot of focus on mistakes. What goes viral is bad news.
Bad news, sure.
So when somebody falls down, when somebody makes a mistake, when something funny happens, that's what we hamper on. So but you can imagine if you are ingesting that kind of information on a daily basis in your mind. I can't make a mistake. I'll go viral. Everybody will see me. To the extent of some of them even committing suicide because of the amount of mental pressure they placed on themselves to be quote unquote perfect. Please, nobody is perfect though. We're all learning the best way that we can. We make mistakes, we relearn, we re-educate, we go back to the drawing board and keep getting better. Because if you don't start, you can never get there. You cannot even get to the middle to talk of say you are getting to the end. So please, I think what I would like to encourage a lot of the young people is that anytime you are given an opportunity to speak and speak with passion. Forget about the grammatical mistake. English is not our mother language. Speak and speak with passion. Speak that you know what you are talking about. Do your research well so that when you are given the facts and they're asking you a question, you can answer it with confidence. And people would immediately buy into what you are saying.
That's right.
Because when you speak with confidence, it shows that you believe in what you are talking about. You have the confidence that what I am saying, it is good for you and it is good for me. Very, very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I think also enabling them to start their own businesses and becoming entrepreneurs is also something that I think it will be more comfortable for them. Oh, I'm the boss there, and they own it. It's something that could also help them. Also enhancing their employability and their career prospects, like we said, is also very, very important. So the next question will be like, how can we work to address the intersectional challenges faced by women and girls with disabilities, including discrimination and marginalization?
Yes, I think it was last week, Saturday, I had a speaking engagement at UDS, and we spoke about intersectionality when it comes to discrimination and gender. Honestly, I didn't realize it was such an issue until I was placed in it practically. And then I was like, no, how can this be happening? And everybody just seems comfortable with it. There is a word that defines how people are treated based on gender, race, skin color, height, sexual. I'm like,
So all those
you are
things.
not God. You are
Who
not biology.
created? Who created all things?
You can't create another human being. So how is it that somebody will sit down and decide that because of your skin color, you are not supposed to be there? You don't qualify, or you don't make sense.
That's serious.
And it is, unfortunately, the most people who are affected by this intersectionality are mostly women and girls. Usually because of the type of environment we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And it's been so many years down the line. We've had so many initiatives. We've spoken about it over and over again. This thing should not still be a topic. It should not be. Because if we're talking about it from a logical sense of reasoning, if somebody is complaining that you are matching my leg, what do? You remove your leg from the person's leg.
Oh,
That's simple.
That's simple. That's
that
practicality.
You are holding my neck. And I say, no, leave my neck. That's just all we are asking. If you leave my neck and you see that I'm able to, I can breathe. Then you can now say, okay, I'm contributing to the effort. But any small thing, the issues alone we go through as women, we've not sorted that out. Then you go out again and go and meet discrimination. You go and meet gender bias. You go and meet preference, quote unquote, based on society and religion. When are we going to be productive in the process?
Wow.
It's a very, very, very big issue.
Yeah, so this comes to every one of us in our own little way. When we find them in our corner, in our environments, in our neighborhoods, let's just keep imbibing confidence into these people. You can do it. You know, there's this thing that it's so important, affirmative words, what we say to ourselves. If you tell yourself right now, I can do it. In fact, there was a book I was just reading some few days ago. It said if you can say 50 to 100 times a day, I can do it. You know, you pass a message across to your brain, and your brain gets to record it. Yes. And it gives you that vibe, that strength to do it. But if they say do this, oh, I can't do it, then your brain says, oh, you can't do it, because it peaks. So what we say is very, very important, especially to parents. Some people have done a lot of damage to the children while growing. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. But I believe it's never too late to be right. Like I said, someone that is addicted to alcohol, and you tell the person, oh, stop drinking, and the person feels, oh, I've been drinking already and all the organs are damaged, so let me just go ahead. But I read a book by a white lady. I said, only if you stop right now, in less than 6 months, things will begin to take shape again. So it's never late to be right. So probably as a mother, you have been talking down on your children, you have been talking down on your colleagues. It's time that we change the tune right now, and we begin to encourage people with our words, because words goes a long way. What you say to people can either make them or mar them. And if you are a contributor to people's life, I'm sure you and I will be grateful, and you'll be glad that you are contributing to somebody's development. You may not have the money, you may not even have the desired knowledge that you think you need, but in your own little corner, that little word of encouragement, that little word of affirmation actually goes a long way. Also, we could also help them in building programs. I think we need to do more of that for organizations and service providers to enhance their understanding of intersectionality and disability. Because some people, they don't know, and what you don't know, you don't know. And you can't give what you don't have. So I think this is one of the awareness we are creating. Somebody listening to this might be even understanding it for the first time. So now you've heard the knowledge. So that person that you've seen, oh, and there's this gesture we normally, naturally look down on people and say, oh, look at her. So right now we need to change the norms. They are your brothers, they are your sisters. Who told you it couldn't be you? Who told you it couldn't be me? And they have not brought themselves into that situation. So we need to really give them all the support that they need, and also promoting inclusive policies and programs that take into account the intersectional needs of women and girls with disabilities. And I think our government too, they need to come in this time, and we are hoping that this new government would be able to see that. Also amplifying the voices and experiences of women and girls with disabilities to ensure that their needs and concerns are heard and addressed. You may not do everything for them, but I think the little wins goes a long way. If it's just a little hand here, there, going to the communities, such like you said, first knowing where they are.
Exactly.
Looking out for them. In fact, that passes a lot of message to them. Yeah. So I'm valued. Oh, so I'm someone that has worth in me. For you to come looking for me, in fact, that means and goes a long way. So sometimes it's not everything that is money. Sometimes it can even be a little hug. Just a hug alone. In fact, I think there was a man of God that said, oh, he was preaching something. I think he was a Ghanaian. He said he was preaching in the US, and he was talking to this young girl, and he just said, I love you. And this lady was crying, big ass, seriously said, if I couldn't express it. Said, what happened? Said, this is the first time in her life that someone is going to say, I love you. So parents, bombard your children with love. Tell them I love you. In fact, when we begin to say this to them, when these unnecessary boys with hidden motive that just want to have sex with them are telling them, they come to know that it's not something new. Like, let your children, let your girl child know she's beautiful. Tell her you are beautiful. If she knows and she understands she's beautiful, if somebody out there is telling her, she's just acknowledging it and admitting it. It's not, yeah, I know. It's not that it's new to her. Exactly. But if she doesn't even hear it from the house, then as time goes on, they begin to bully them and woo them with those words, sweet words, begin to win them over. And before you know it, what happens? They begin, okay, don't worry, I'll get you a bottle of drink and meat pie. And before you know it, they'll take them into the corner. And you see, that's why they'll begin to violate the children. So I think it's very, very important that we have to do this. It's that season of period that the year is almost going to an end. And we say it's Christmas. Christmas is just like 2 or 3 days to come. Yeah. We are saying make a budget. There's this thing that's it's new now. We call it vision board. You may not have a vision board, but you could always improvise. What are the things you want to do for the year 2025? Have a goal. And the beauty of the goal is, putting a deadline to the time. Putting the time that you need to establish and execute what you need to do. Like you could say, in 2025, I want to read 24 books. How do you want to do it? You must be specific. Oh, Christmas is coming. What are your budget? Don't go out of your way to do what you are not supposed to. But before I go ahead, I would like Kenny to give a last word to our viewers out there and encourage them and just say all you could. Just look into the camera and do your best.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy that I had this opportunity to come here this morning. It has been an amazing year. This year has been back-to-back speaking engagements, workshops, seminars, promoting women empowerment, trying to make sure that I gain as much knowledge as possible, and I'm entirely grateful to God for that. I'm grateful for the opportunities that my own fellow women have given to me to pass that message across, that women also matter and our voices are heard. I just want each and every one of us sitting at home listening to us today to know that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are male, you are female, or you're a person with disability, your space is there. You will be heard. If you are looking for the opportunities are there for you online and offline. Look for them. When you look for them, you would find them. And I just want my ladies to remember that when you love yourself, you can love somebody else. And please, 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 for anyone going through any type of sexual gender-based violence, you are going through some sort of violence, whether male or female or person with disability, you can always reach out to Counselor Debby or even me as well. You can follow me on my social media platforms as Kenny Mama or Adi Kende, where you can find us there. Send us a message. Let us know what you are going through so that we can help you in our own little way. And I wish all of us happy Christmas and happy holidays, because we'll be chilling this week. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been an exciting time having you in the studio with us today. Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. And thank you for the great work you are doing out there.
Thank you.
We are so sure 2025 will be more glorious and more fully packed. But greater, we are going to explore. We are going to, go into the looks and crannies, searching out those who we can impact and be of help to.
Yes.
And thank you so much for coming again today. So my viewers out there, thank you so much. This is your favorite Counselor Debby. Do not forget, we are going to reach out to you. Just keep the messages coming, and we will surely give you a feedback. And we are wishing you a Merry Christmas and a glorious Happy New Year in advance. 2025 is going to be a glorious. It doesn't matter what the challenges has been in 2025. We'll keep pressing on, and we are so sure that 2025 will be more glorious. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye.
What happens when the road gets rough? Join Counselor Debby as she takes you through a time out with couples, families, friends concerning the heart of the matter.
I believe that every story matters